Welcome back, my amazing student. So now that we are done with, editing some of the, template here, the index, what we need to do is we need to build a back end so that way our application actually works. Because right now, the back end, it's not going to work. As a matter of fact, our application is going to break when it tries to look for this route that doesn't exist yet. So we need to build that route. So let's go ahead and build that route first. And then we'll go back into the template and figure some things out. So I'm going to actually take all this from there, because that's very similar to what I want to do. And I'm just going to do this, edit here. And I'm going to change this to get, because this is only going to be the get request. And I'm going to leave this expense ID there. But what I want to do is I want to edit the name of the method. Okay, and then we're gonna place around here a little bit. All right, so sorry about that. My chair, guys, when you code a lot, everything starts failing in your office. Your mouse, the keyboard, the chair. My chair now is like going down. So you can imagine how many times I sat on this chair. All right, so the little lever to put it up, it's messed up. But anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. Maybe you'll have the same experience. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to build a query here, and we're going to go and try to pull this expense, right? Whatever expense comes in, and we'll find it by its expense ID, just like that. Same thing we had here. As a matter of fact, I could have just copied that, but I wanted to write it, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's do the render template here, and we're going to render that template that you're supposed to download from the description of this video. All right, and I already have it here, so make sure that you make sure you create the file and copy whatever I have in that. All right, and you should have that template. All right, anyway, just making sure, right? We're gonna pass in the expense just like this as the E, right? Because that's the expense that we're bringing out from the database. And I want to pass in categories as well, but this one would be categories. And let's just pass that in, whatever categories we got. I think they're still static up here. In the future, what we can do is we can make them dynamic and come from the database. All right, so I also want to have the date available and formatted, but since I already have, let me look for this. I have the date in so many places already. Okay, in so many places, as you can see right here in my expense model. I don't want, my code can get ambiguous, and I don't want this to have, to be a problem later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna abbreviate this so I can say date as, I'm going to create an alias for this, DT date. So that way we can know that this is the date. We don't get confused with this stuff here. All right. So let's go and let me see where I was right here. So what we can do here, we can say, we can get the date out of here today, and we can also format it. There we go. Just like that. And let me see, categories. As a matter of fact, I'm forgetting the column in the database. There we go. Right there. All right. So yeah, that's today's day. We got categories, expense. All righty. That looks like it could work 100%, right? So let's go ahead and go to our application, see if anything broke. And yes, it did break. And it's talking about line 179. Let me see what I forgot here. Line 179. The return is fine. That was probably before. I don't have anything wrong here. All right. Let's go ahead and try our app again. Python. Boom. All right. Let's refresh. And it says could not build from endpoint. Of course, because we have in the edit form, edit template, we haven't finished, or in the index, sorry, we haven't finished this guy. We have to pass the ID, right? So we'll say expense ID, _ID, and we'll pass in the EID, right? Because that's what we got here as an expense, right? So now if we go back and refresh, this should actually work. And now if we click edit, it says could not build endpoint edit post. Edit post, what in the world? Edit post. Let me see something. Okay, I see what's going on here. We have another one. Yeah. Actually, this should be edit expense, but we don't have that route either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. So that way this actually works. There we go. All right. Yeah. This should be enough for this lecture, guys. We got this actually working, right? Now, what we can do is build the next route to make this actually work. And that would be the edit expense, and that would be the post request. All right. We don't have that yet, so we'll make it in the next lecture. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.